The studio lights burned brighter than ever that night, but the tension on stage could slice through the air like a blade. Millions of viewers tuned in for what they thought would be a typical late-night interview, unaware they were about to witness a clash of personalities that would echo across social media for weeks. Jimmy Kimmel had a reputation for pushing boundaries with his humor, and Sylvester Stallone, the legendary actor who had built his life on grit, determination, and comebacks, was his guest. What started as playful banter quickly became a defining moment for both men, live on national television. Jimmy began the show with his usual mischievous smile, cracking jokes about Hollywood's tough guy personas. Stallone, sitting calmly, wore a black suit with his trademark cool demeanor, but his eyes betrayed a deeper intensity. He had been through battles far tougher than any stage could offer, battles with self-doubt, career slumps, and personal loss. This wasn't just another talk show appearance for him, it was a chance to remind people what resilience truly looks like. The interview began lightly. Jimmy asked about the upcoming movie, Stallone shared a few stories, and the audience laughed. But then Jimmy's tone shifted. He cracked a cutting joke about Stallone's age and hinted that his days of being an action hero were long gone. The audience chuckled nervously. Sylvester paused, his jaw tightening. For a split second, the cameras caught a flicker of pain in his expression, not because of the joke itself, but because of what it represented. Years of being underestimated, dismissed, and labeled a relic. Instead of snapping back, Stallone leaned forward. His voice dropped to a deep, steady tone that silenced the room. "You know, Jimmy," he began, "people have been telling me I'm done since the first day I tried to sell Rocky. They told me I was too old, too broke, too unknown. They told me I wasn't good enough to star in my own movie. But I didn't give up. I wrote every night, acted every day, and pushed through rejection after rejection. And you know what? Every single time someone tried to bury me, I dug my way out." The audience shifted in their seats. Stallone wasn't angry, he was raw, real, and commanding. He spoke not just to Jimmy, but to everyone watching at home who had ever been told they weren't enough. He talked about the losses in his life, the bankruptcy before Rocky, the heartbreak of losing his son, the humiliation of being written off, and how every challenge shaped him into the man sitting there now. "Strength," he said, "isn't about how many punches you throw. It's about how many hits you can take and keep moving forward." Jimmy, caught off guard, tried to interrupt with a light-hearted quip, but the audience shushed him. The energy had shifted. Stallone wasn't simply answering questions anymore, he was delivering a masterclass on perseverance. The cameras zoomed in as he continued, his voice breaking slightly with emotion. "People think Hollywood is about glamour. It's not. It's about rejection. It's about the nights you're sitting alone wondering if you're a failure. But if you can look at yourself in the mirror and know you gave everything you had, that's winning. That's being a champion." By now, the studio audience was leaning forward, hanging on every word. Jimmy lowered his cue cards and quietly said, I didn't know that about you." It was rare to see the talk show host humbled, but Stallone's honesty had stripped away the comedy act, leaving two men on stage, one speaking from a lifetime of scars and triumphs. Stallone concluded with a message that would go viral overnight: "We live in a world where it's easy to tear someone down for a laugh. But what really matters, what truly lasts, is building people up. I didn't come here tonight to be a punchline. I came here to tell anyone watching who feels like they're at the end of their rope, don't quit. Don't let anyone decide your worth. You are stronger than you know." The studio erupted into applause. Not the polite clapping of an audience trained to cheer on cue, but a heartfelt, standing ovation. Jimmy, visibly moved, shook Stallone's hand and said, "Thank you for saying that. I think we all needed to hear it." Later that night, clips of the exchange spread across social media. Headlines declared, "Sylvester Stallone destroys Jimmy Kimmel on live TV," but in reality, it wasn't destruction. It was transformation. Stallone's words sparked discussions about resilience, mental health, and the cost of chasing dreams. People from all walks of life commented about how his speech gave them courage to keep going. In the days that followed, Jimmy invited Stallone back, this time for a more heartfelt and respectful conversation. They laughed about the tension from the previous episode, but both men agreed on one thing: the world needed more honesty and inspiration in place of cheap shots and cynicism. And so, a late-night interview that began with a joke ended with an unforgettable moment of raw humanity. Sylvester Stallone didn't just destroy Jimmy Kimmel, he destroyed doubt, cynicism, and the idea that someone's worth could be measured by a single moment in their career. His message stood as a beacon for anyone fighting their own uphill battle. Life will knock you down, but as long as you rise again, you've already won.